On Nnamdi Kanu's legal battle. If you've been following this case, you know that things have been moving fast. And with the latest developments, there's plenty to talk about. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because we're diving deep into the real-time details right now. And please, don't just watch. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's engage in this conversation together. Now, let's break down what's going on. As of October 2025, the world has been watching Nnamdi Kanu's case, and today, it takes another unexpected turn. Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has been caught in a legal battle that's more complex than ever. And guess what? The latest ruling involves a judge from Kenya stepping in, giving Kanu a huge win, and throwing a wrench into the ongoing trial in Nigeria. You might be wondering how Kenya got involved in this, right? Well, let me take you back to a significant moment in Kanu's life. It all started in 2021 when Kanu was detained by the Nigerian government. But things didn't stop there. Kanu's team raised some serious concerns about how he was apprehended. They argued that he wasn't just arrested by Nigerian authorities but was unlawfully renditioned, taken from Kenya without proper legal procedures. It was a matter that would shake things up in both Kenya and Nigeria. Fast forward to June 2025, a Kenyan court made an important ruling that has become a pivotal point in this whole saga. The Kenyan High Court ruled that Kanu's rendition was illegal. This ruling didn't just put a dent in Nigeria's legal process, it made waves internationally. The Kenyan judge, Justice Enoch Chachamwita, concluded that Kanu's rights were violated when he was sent back to Nigeria in 2021. This decision has caused some major tension between Kenya and Nigeria, and we can't forget the international implications this carries, especially when it comes to issues of human rights and sovereignty. Now, back to the main headline. This case isn't just about the past anymore. The Kenyan court's ruling has been brought up again in the most recent developments. So, just when things seem to be settling, in October 2025, Justice James Omotosho of Nigeria's Federal High Court steps in. Omotosho, who is overseeing the trial of Kanu, made a surprise decision that has the entire legal community talking. Kanu, who had been under the representation of a legal team led by senior advocate of Nigeria, Chief Agabi, shocked everyone by deciding to represent himself. Imagine being in the courtroom. This is a high-profile trial, and suddenly the defendant says, "I no longer want my legal team. I'm doing this myself." That's exactly what Kanu did. His decision to stand as his own lawyer wasn't just about making a personal choice. It was strategic. The court had to adjourn proceedings as Kanu faced several challenges in accessing case files after the dismissal of his legal team. This put a halt to things. But the real question is, why did Kanu make such a bold move? It's clear that Kanu is playing a very complicated game here. By dismissing his lawyers, he is signaling something much deeper than just a courtroom decision. Kanu is someone who has spent a long time being a voice for the Biafran people, and this decision to represent himself can be seen as a stance of resistance, a form of protest. But it's not just about protest. It's about taking control of his fate. And there's a big question mark hanging over the entire thing. Will Kanu's decision to defend himself actually lead to a success, or will it backfire? And if it backfires, what does that mean for his cause and the future of the IPOB movement? So, let's talk about what's at stake. The Nigerian government, which is trying to prosecute Kanu, has been firm about its stance. The charges are serious, ranging from terrorism to inciting violence. Kanu's supporters, on the other hand, see this as an unfair persecution, a violation of their rights, and an attempt to silence the Biafran movement. The international community, however, has been divided on this matter. Some see Kanu as a political prisoner, while others argue that his actions threaten national security. Now, as Kanu's self-representation unfolds, the trial date has been moved to October 27th, 2025, and there's a lot of anticipation around how things will go. Some argue that Kanu's decision to defend himself might complicate the situation. How will he navigate the complex legal issues? Does he have the experience to pull it off? His supporters believe this is just another sign of his leadership, facing the storm head on. But his critics see it as a risky move that could undermine his case. And here's where it gets really interesting. Kanu is also being affected by something that goes beyond the courtroom. The political backdrop is thick with tension. Nigeria has been facing a host of challenges, from insurgency to political instability. Kanu's trial has become more than just about him. It's a symbol of a much larger conflict. His case has divided opinions. On one hand, you have those who see him as a hero, a freedom fighter. And on the other hand, you have those who view him as a criminal. While all this drama unfolds in the Nigerian courtroom, we have to ask ourselves, what does this mean for Kanu's supporters and for Nigeria as a whole? The fallout from this case could affect more than just Kanu's future. It could set a precedent for how political cases are handled in the future. If Kanu wins, it will be seen as a major blow to the Nigerian government and a win for human rights advocates around the world. But if he loses, it will send a message about the strength of the Nigerian government in silencing dissent. As we stand on the edge of this case's climax, we must remember that this is more than just a legal battle. It's a war of ideologies. It's about control, resistance, and the fight for justice. And now, we're watching history unfold right before our eyes. And that's not all. The international community has been involved in this case more than ever. The Kenyan court's ruling and the involvement of international organizations has added another layer of complexity to an already complicated case. Will international pressure affect the outcome? Will Kanu get the fair trial that he's been calling for? These are questions that many are asking, and only time will tell. Now, before we wrap up, I want to hear from you. What do you think? Do you believe Kanu's decision to represent himself is a masterstroke, or do you think he's taking a huge risk? Let's get a conversation going in the comments. And remember, if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, share with your friends, and subscribe for more updates. We'll keep following this case closely.